Welcome to Compass Stories. I'm your host, Veronica Sterling. And my work is centered on helping people who are in the middle of disruption rediscover meaning, strengthen connection, and move forward with courage. I do this through speaking, sharing experiences, and storytelling. I'm grateful that you've joined me for a conversation today. And if it resonates with you, I hope that you will share it with someone else in your life. Thanks for being here. Listener, I am sitting in Death Valley National Park, and it is warm here. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. The temperature right now is 104 degrees. And you might be thinking, oh, I've been to the desert before, or it gets close to 100 degrees sometimes in the summer where I live. But I want you to know that it is a different kind of heat here. This is the hottest, lowest, driest spot in the Western Hemisphere. And it is like the air is just stubbornly hot, even when the sun goes down and the air is blowing, it stays warm. I'll tell you, this very harsh area is also a very beautiful landscape. We went today to the Badwater Basin. It's 282 feet below sea level. It's a dry salt lake bed, and you can walk out onto it, but it feels like you're just looking out over this bright white sea. We went to Artist's Palette. This was a really cool area. It was rugged, silty mountain region, and it's just these rocks have colors just splashed all over them, it seems like. And the colors are toffee, cream, ash, silver. There's even turquoise. There's a one-way road that winds through this section of the park, and it was outstanding. It is now absolutely on our list of best scoots of all time. And speaking of scooting, I will tell you that we left camp this morning at sunrise, and we covered over 150 miles of scooting today, just taking in all of the scenery that we could get here. And people kept waving at us. They were smiling. They were taking our pictures. And I just think that from the comfort of their air-conditioned SUVs, they really did not know what to make of us out here. It was a great day. Listener, I hope you had a chance to listen to my conversation this week with Chris. He shared intimate experiences of navigating a personal grief journey, including that he talked about the tension and the balance that comes from experiencing both grief and joy together. I thought it was a really powerful conversation. Now I'll tell you, when I'm preparing to speak to a group, I'm asked most often to talk about the impact of grief in our own lives. But in private conversations, I'm asked most often how to help a friend who is grieving. And Chris talked about this some, but it's not the role of a griever to teach this to us. So we should all be very grateful for the time and the effort that he put into that conversation. So I'm a synthesizer. I like to compile my thoughts into notes and then just organize them and make lists. So let's take a look at some of my notes on this topic together. I want to share some of my thoughts on steps that you can take if you are a friend who wants to reach out to someone who is grieving. Number one, start before you're ready happens right here. This is absolutely a start before you're ready moment. This connection is your responsibility to figure out. And I know it can be hard. Grief is big. It can be overwhelming. It can make us feel awkward. It can expose some of our own grief emotions and experiences. But if the connection to your friend is important, then it is especially important that you start and make the connection here. Number 2, I want to encourage you to follow the griever's lead. Remain open. Listen to what they have to say. Don't correct. Don't compare. The good news is that if you try to correct and compare and fix, you're making it harder than it needs to be. You simply just need to show up and be present. Number 3, grief requires a witness to heal. And when you make the connection, you are being the witness. It is your role here to acknowledge the magnitude of the pain and the loss in the griever's life. And when you're doing that, a phrase that I most often discourage people from using is the phrase, at least. Ugh. This phrase sounds something like this. At least you got a divorce before having any kids. At least they are no longer in pain. At least you have other children. At least you are young enough to remarry. This phrase, these 2 words, they are like telling a griever to move on. It's not acknowledging the pain. It's not being the witness. And number 4, apologize when needed. Maybe you weren't there. Or maybe you misspoke or feel like you took some misstep. Don't let that become a reason for a void between you and your friend to start growing. What you should do instead is refer to step number 1. Start here before you're ready. Make the connection and offer your apology. And the last thing I will tell you is this. When one does not know what to do, one can always roast a chicken. If you don't know what to say, make the connection through your actions. Roast the chicken, join the meal train, mow the lawn, take the kids out on a movie night. Be present. Be a witness. Listener, if there is ever a time in your life when you need this list, I hope that hearing it today is helpful to you. I hope that you know that making the connection and being a witness is one of the most important things that you can do for a friend who's grieving. And when you reach out, when you make this effort, you will reap the blessing of a stronger connection with your friend. For now, though, I will tell you it's hot out here. So I'm going to head back inside and try to cool off. Listener, wherever you are today, I hope that you're doing well. I hope you're having a great day. And for now, I'll see you at the next destination. Thank you for listening to this episode of Compass Stories. I'm your host, Veronica Sterling. And if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to hear more and share it with others. Thank you for doing so. That's really helpful for me. To learn more about my message and connect, you can find me at www.veronicasterling.com.